So we are going to do the astrology notes, and then we'll be doing the Cancer and Leo readings for July 2023. Even though all readings are timeless, so whenever you see this message, it is meant for you. All right. So we will get into the Cancer readings, starting with Cancer since it is Cancer season. So I wanted to say happy birthday ahead of time to all the sun sign Cancers out there. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the astrology notes for this time period. Just a couple things we're going to generally talk about that is for everybody. And I will be putting a link in the description box below afterwards for the website where you can get all of these astrology notes if you want to see that, okay? All right, so the astrology notes for July through August. We have on July 3rd, there's the full moon in Capricorn. All right, so if you've been to my channel before, or even if you're already aware, right, a full moon is when we're going to have a height of energy. Emotions can run high during the full moon, and a lot of people like to do certain types of spell work, like releasing or manifestation around releasing during the full moon, because that's when it is at its highest point, right? Its culmination. So you would perhaps maybe do manifestations for bringing in something new more when you're doing a new moon or when it's in a C shape and it's smaller, so that it can fully build to a full moon. But I always say do your manifestation or your spell work, your prayers, what have you, no matter what the moon is doing, and do it when it's right for you. Okay? But yeah, so on July 3rd, we do have that full moon in Capricorn. And then on July 9th, we have a last quarter moon. And then on, I think I lost one of my papers. Hold on. It's really hot here, guys, and I don't have AC currently, so I have the fan on, and it's kind of just blowing stuff around, but hopefully you can still hear me okay. So what I was going to say before my little paper blew away was on July 10th, we have Athena Pallas, which is an asteroid, okay? It's going to be entering into Earth sign Virgo. So Athena Pallas, sometimes it's just known as Pallas, but the full name is Athena Pallas, right? So it's almost like the Greek goddess Athena. Okay, so that represents wisdom, defense, intuition, justice, talents in the arts. So those themes are going to be strengthened around Virgo themes of stability, organization, more earth sign energy. Okay, so things around those Athena Pallas themes could be more grounded at that time. So that feels like a really nice placement there. All right, and then also on July 10th, the same day, we also have Mars is going to be entering into Virgo or sign Virgo as well. So the higher vibrational frequency of Mars would be entrepreneurship, leadership, right? And then the lower vibrational frequency of Mars would be anger, fighting, right? The Roman god of war, or even the Greek god of war, right? So when Mars enters into Virgo, there could again be a more grounded or stability around leadership roles, entrepreneurship energy, or it could help us be more grounded and less fiery if we're doing the low vibrational frequency of Mars, which would be that anger, frustration, fighting energy. Okay. But yeah, let's see what else we have here for you guys. Then on July 11th, Mercury, which is the ruler of communications and electronics, right, to name a few, is going to be entering into fire sign Leo. Okay, so there could be more passionate communications at this time. There could be more, let's say, passionate and center stage communications, bringing something to the center stage for you or for someone else, for the collective, whatever that means for you. Okay, because Leo is kind of that fire sign energy that is known. A lot of artists are Leos, right? So they want to be center stage in some way. Okay, so again, it could make some type of communications come to the forefront in some kind of way for some of us here. Okay, depending on how you feel the energy, since this is for the collective. All right, and then on July 17th, we have a new moon in Cancer. Okay, so when we were talking about earlier about the new moons is good for planting seeds or for certain manifestations or spell work. So we do have that on July 17th in water sign Cancer. Okay, and so there could be more emotions coming up with that new moon. and kind of new start energy. So that feels really nice. And then also on the same day, on July 17th, we have the first, oh wait, not yet, just kidding. Wait, is that the first one? No, it's not. Okay, sorry. We have a couple things happening later in the month, and there's 3 different ones. Okay, so I thought that was the first one, but my eyes tricked me. So just forget that part. So on July 17th, we have the North Node is in retrograde, and it's going to be in the sign of Aries. Okay, so when we talk about the North Node in astrology, that is like our purpose on Earth, okay, in this human body. So you could even equate it to saying it's the highest spiritual purpose that we have. Our South Node is more karmic lessons from past lives or from the past in general. So when this North Node retrograde is happening in Aries, it can be really bringing out these feelings of self-determination and assertment, right? So asserting ourselves or being more self-determined in certain ways, okay? So that again feels like some really nice energy in the middle of July here around the 17th. Okay, now moving forward on July 22nd, we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, technology, education, wealth, politics, media, marketing, etc. It's going to be semi-square to Neptune. Okay, so Neptune is that underworld energy, so it can be about dreams, creativity. Also, if you go too far in the Neptune energy, it can be about partaking too much in drugs or alcohol, right? But since Jupiter is going to be semi-square Neptune at this point, it feels like if we are going to tap into the more high vibrational frequencies of Neptune, Jupiter, whatever it touches, it expands, known as the planet of expansion. So if we are tapping into the Neptune underworld side of the creativity or the emotions, bringing them out in a positive way or something here, then that can be really nice. And again, around Jupiter themes of travel, education, wealth, politics, religion, and media. Okay. All right. Now moving forward. Also on the same day, there's like 3 different things here happening on July 22nd. So it could be a particular day for some people. We also have Venus is going to be in retrograde on July 22nd. Okay, so Venus is the planet of love, money, higher forms of money, wealth, investments, beauty, and balance. Okay, so when it's retrograde, it looks at from where we are in Earth that it's going in the backwards motion. Okay, even though maybe it's not actually, but that's how we perceive it, and that's how the ancients talked about. Astrology is all about how we relate to the stars, right? Okay, so basically here when we have that Venus retrograde, it could be that there are things around love, beauty, balance, higher forms of assets and wealth and money that is moving a little bit more slowly. But anytime we have retrogrades, the word gets a bad rap, right? If you think about Mercury retrograde, which is usually the funnest for some people, right? Depending on where you are in your life and which retrograde we're talking about. But retrogrades really talk about the right? So RE in the beginning of the word retrograde is almost like rework, revise, resample, all the re's. Okay, so it makes us want to go over something that maybe we didn't fully understand before, or just give it a second look. Okay, so maybe there's second looks going to be happening around the love, beauty, balance, higher forms of assets and money around that time. Okay. And then also on July 22nd, that is when we officially move into Leo season. So the sun enters into Leo. All right. And then moving forward, now this is what I was starting to talk about a little bit earlier. There's these 3 aspects throughout the month of July where Pluto is going to be square the North Node. Okay. So Pluto is the planet of transformation, okay, about rebirth. It's kind of similar to Neptune, but a little bit different. And so the first day that this happens on July 23rd, is going to be 6 degrees. Okay, then it's going to happen again on July 25th at 3 degrees, and then it happens again July 28th at 58 degrees. So basically, it starts out strong, and then it's when you're at 0, that would be like considered the strongest in astrology, and then it's going to move slowly down backwards through the numbers. So the strongest point again is on July 23rd. Okay, so when we talk about Pluto, the planet Pluto in particular, right? It is between the north and the south nodes, okay, because we're talking about Pluto squaring the north node. So it's almost like this feeling of 1 foot in front and 1 foot behind. So 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future. So it's actually a really nice point here throughout July during those dates, and I'll say them again, where there could be something from the past lives or past in general, from more the South Node energy, that was like a step that was skipped. Okay, so when we talk about the squares in astrology, sometimes people refer to them as skip steps. Okay, so it's like something coming up again, almost similar to the retrogrades, where they want us to look over something again. So when that first Pluto square to North Node happens on July 23rd, okay, it can be just about learning how to trust again. Something that maybe we didn't fully trust before, okay? So there can be some trust stuff coming up here. But let's keep going and see what else we have here. We have sometimes each month the astrology notes can be shorter or longer, and this month in July they're a little bit longer, but we're almost there. We're going to get through it, okay? So then on July 23rd, the same day, we also have Chiron is going to be in retrograde, okay? So Chiron is the Greek wounded healer, okay? And so when it's going backwards, when it's going retrograde, as we say, right, is that maybe there is some wounds that are resurfacing that weren't fully healed properly or still had a little bit of an infection in them. So when that Chiron is going to be retrograde towards the end of the month, when we're here in July, it can be talking about now true healing needs to happen, okay, because the wounds are resurfacing, all right? Okay. Then moving forward on July 25th, okay, this is that second time where I mentioned before, Pluto is going to be square the North Node, but now instead of 6 degrees, it's at 3 degrees. So it's starting to go down a little bit in its intensity or energy. Then on July 25th, we have a first quarter moon. And on July 28th, we have Pluto doing that last square to the North Node. Okay, so now it will be at 58 degrees. Okay, so it's going to be slowly dissipating throughout the month and then coming off of that energy. Now we also have on July 28th, on the same day, we have Mercury is now going to be entering into Earth sign Virgo. So Mercury again is communication, how we communicate with ourselves and others. So it's going to be more in that grounded Earth sign energy of Virgo, talking about being more organized or being more serious about something, or being, what's the other thing I was going to say? More, what did I say? Grounded, organized, serious. Yeah, I feel like there's something else, but I can't think of it right now, okay? But that's pretty much, the gist of it, okay? So, depending on where you have Virgo in your chart, or where also you have Mercury in your chart, it's always fun to find out those things if you don't already know, because it can tell you a lot about your communication style, where your Mercury is, okay? But the thing that I was going to put in the description box below, because I don't think I've done it yet, where you can see all these astrology notes one by one. The same website, CafeAstrology.com, is a great place to get a free birth chart, whether you know your birth time or not, okay? So I always mention that. It's not like I get money from them or anything. But yeah, So that is basically the summarization of your astrology notes for July. But yeah, let's go ahead now and do a quick little sound bell and tap into the energy for Cancer. So Cancer, I've pulled all of your cards here already just to save some time, especially because it's your season, right? And so we will get into your readings. But let's just do a quick sound bell here for you guys and for myself to tap back into our body, make sure, again, we're grounded. We're talking about all this grounded stuff earlier. But also it's to make sure that I'm a clear channel for spirit to give you guys the messages as clear as possible. Okay, or it's just a moment to take a breath or just to listen to the sound bell itself. All right. So just be aware, it might be a little bit loud if you're listening with headphones or you're sensitive, but it won't be forever. All right, so this is for Cancer. Let's see what we have coming up here for you, Cancer. Again, happy birthday to all the sun sign Cancers out there, whether you've already had your birthday or it's coming up, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and call out your cards here and kind of briefly talk about the time frames when some of these things may occur. So I'm just going to put my calendar. I forgot to write this down earlier, but let's see here. We're going to do the first week, which will be card 1. We'll say is from July 1st through the 8th. The second week, second card is going to be from around, say, July 9th through the 16th. And then the third card, third week, can be from around July 17th through 23rd. And then the fourth card, fourth week, will be July 24th through the 31st. Okay? Or so, right? So it's not set in stone. I'll say those dates again when we're on each one of the cards here at the top. Also, for the people that are new, I always take one photo of all the cards. After the reading is done, I do upload it to my Facebook if it's something that you want to look at more up close in detail or just to have it for later. Okay. All right. So here we go, Cancer. Let's see what we have here for you. We've got the Ace of Spades in the right side up position. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position. And we have the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. All right. And then we'll talk about the other cards where Spirit wants me to talk to you about those cards in detail. Okay. But yeah, let's see what we have here for you, Cancer. Now, right off the bat, you do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You've got 3 major arcanas, okay? So 2 are in the past and 1 is in the future, current, present energies, all right? So it's not saying necessarily a good or bad thing, it's just talking about a significant amount of change. So if all 3 of the major arcanas were all in this top row, then I would say like lots of changes back to back would be happening, but you really only have 1 here. And the other two looks like it already kind of started somewhere in the past, whatever that means for you. Okay. Now, real quickly, I do want to mention the other zodiac signs that are showing up here in your reading for some people who are into that. Okay. So with the Wheel of Fortune, you have 4 different zodiac signs. All right. So you've got Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. Why did I just forget the other one? Scorpio and Aquarius. Okay, so Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius are in the Wheel of Fortune energy here. You have the Fool card over here, so you got a little bit Gemini, Sagittarius energy, and then you have the official card for Libra, the Justice card. So what does this mean? You could be dealing with a Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Gemini, Sagittarius, or Libra. Okay, or if not, you could be it could be referencing something in your birth chart or someone else's, or it could be referencing one of those seasons. So Leo season, Taurus season, Scorpio, Aquarius season of this year, of last year, or even next year. Okay. Or the last thing it could be, if not nothing, it could be that it's referring to something in your birth chart or the other person's birth chart that may give you more clues and insight. Okay, but yeah, in the beginning, I just like to talk about the zodiac frequencies showing up here. All right, so now let's go. Oh wait, before I do that, Cancer, let's see what your minor arcana is in your reading as well before we break down each card and go in order. So you have 2 staves, also known as wands cards. We've got 1 cup, 1 sword, and 2 pentacles. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty much a tie here between the staves or wands and the pentacles. Okay, so what does that mean? Staves or wands can talk about fire sign energy, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, what we get physically fired up in our bodies about or passionate about. Okay, as far as the wands can also refer to our physical body or health. Okay, and then when we're talking about the pentacles, of course, that could be coins or money, wealth, right? But if it's not, that could also be our values, right? So, am I being valued enough? Is the other person? Is the environment? Vice versa. That's kind of like some sample questions that they're out there. But again, these are kind of just, it's an underlying theme to your reading, so we'll probably talk about it, of course, at some point. All right. So it could be half about money, half about health, or it could be half about passion, half about values in a nutshell, right? But of course, we're going to go deeper than that, but I just wanted to mention it in the beginning. All right, so Cancer. Let's start with your first card here. And again, we said this could be from around July 1st through the 8th. You have that Ace of Spades in the right side up position. All right, so this is talking about new beginnings, okay? Endings and new beginnings when we see an ace, all right? And in particular, because it is the Ace of Wands, again, it could be related to health, our physical body, but it doesn't have to be. It could also just be about passion. So we see the Ankh symbol here, the Egyptian Ankh, and so this is a symbol of rebirth, right, or birth in general, okay, birthing something new. So a lot of times when this card comes out, even in other decks, the way that they depict the card, it can be talking about a really fertile time. So for some people, if you're a woman, if you want a baby, right, they would say, to be careful around this time if you don't want a baby, right? But it doesn't have to be about that, right? It can also be that metaphor of birthing a new project, a new relationship, a new passion, something in your life here, okay? Now, in particular as well, Cancer, when we're talking about your first card, this can be energy from the recent past that we're still picking up. And this full reading in general here could be about you or someone you're dealing with or multiple people you're dealing with or your general environment situation. So go through it and see how it may come out for you. But if it doesn't feel like it's your reading, don't force it, right? Just check out your other placements and other videos here. All right. So back to what we were saying though, Cancer, with this Ace of Spades in the right side up position, I feel that it's a really nice energy for you to have at the beginning of July, the new month, right? Or any month in particular, but we're talking about July right now. And so this is that fresh start energy, okay? And also, anytime the aces show up in the reading, regardless of which ace it is, whether it's Ace of Cups or Ace of Wands or Staves or Ace of Pentacles, right? It's going to strengthen somebody's innate talents and gifts, something that you were born good at, okay? So it's going to strengthen that at this time. And so again, if you are sun sign Cancer and it's your Cancer's birthday season, then that totally would make sense. And of course, be really nice, okay? Now, I want to see what's under it, okay? This is where Spirit wanted me to put these other first two cards underneath your first card here, Cancer. So we have the Fool in the right side up position. That's the Gemini Sagittarius energy. And then we have the Five of Staves, or also known as Five of Wands, in the right side up position. Okay, so again, more fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, now these two cards, I like to call them the sponsored cards. They're the ones that made it possible for this Ace of Staves to show up in the right side up position here. Okay, so this is energy from the past, whatever the past is for you. It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. All right, but it's just kind of giving us more insight about why this card showed up here. Okay, so when we talk about that ace and that fresh start, new beginnings energy, if we look to the past and we see that Fool card, the Fool is all about making a leap of faith, trusting in something we don't know how it's going to necessarily turn out to be, right? And so it's like, be a fool, be foolish. Who cares what people think? Who cares what I think, right? I'm going to make that leap of faith. So somebody or some energy here, started to do that in the past, Cancer, okay? And that's why it also led to that Ace of Staves in the right side up position in your first week of July, all right? Now, also with this Fool energy from the past, where we're going to maybe let down or look at issues of ego or identity, right? So behind this woman who's doing tarot, there's a mirror behind her. And so that's kind of what the mirror represents, right? Again, do I want to look foolish? Do I care? Do other people care? Does the other person care? Vice versa, etc. Okay. But that fresh start energy, making that leap of faith, trusting in something we can't see in the past, also led to that Five of Staves, Five of Wands in the right side up position, where somebody was like, you know what, I have been taking life really seriously or something really seriously lately. So now I'm going to kind of rely on my support system to help me find different options to have not only plan A, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, what else is, if something doesn't go exactly the way I want or the other person or the environment, what's the backup plan? So having a pencil instead of a pen so you can erase. So this is the homework again that someone or some energy did in the past here, Cancer. And again, it made it possible for that beautiful Ace of Staves to show up in your first week. So very nice. All right. Now let's keep going here for you, Cancer. Now, before we get to the second card, okay, and if you've seen it before, you know, of course, but for people who haven't been here in a while or even new people, right, we're always going to have at some point some type of energetic blockage, gentle reminder, or challenge, as I like to call it. So sometimes all the cards can be those, or it's one or two, or, it just depends. It's different for every reading. But for you here, Cancer, again, depending on where you have Cancer in your chart, you only have it in one card for, let's say, 1 week's time frame or so, right? So that's not bad, okay? And a lot of times when this happens, it is, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, the energy in general wants somebody or something to slow down for a reason, even if you don't necessarily like it, okay? So not to say too much before we get into the card, but it changes for the better, or the energy starts to pick up and speed up right after in that third week. So don't be like, oh man, it's my birthday. Like, why is this happening? Because it's just, it happens, right? And it's not forever, okay? So here we have in your second week, Cancer, we said could be from around July 9th through the 16th or so. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. But you have two aces, and the way that this feels based on your other cards, right? So go back to your first week and now your second week. Um, it feels here, Cancer, that it is somebody or something, perhaps. I'm trying to think of a way to say it. It feels more triggering, but this is coming up again, something from the past, showing up again to basically make you think that you can't have it all, right? So if the like Ace of Cups was in the right side up position, it would be again new beginnings, fresh start energy. It would be my cup is runneth over, right? All these really good positive emotions, let's say, because water in the tarot represents our emotions. But because it's in the reverse position and it's following that other ace, it feels like somebody is just thinking it's going to happen the same way it did in the past. And that's not necessarily, what happens in life, right? So, of course, we have fears and we have moments where we get triggered, but it's, to kind of work through it and know that not everything is always going to be exactly the same as it was in the past, okay? But let's go underneath it, okay? Because this is where Spirit put your other two cards to get even more insight. All right, so again, this is going to be past energy here, Cancer. So we've got the Three of Pentacles in the right side up position, and we also have the Justice card in the right side up position, Libra energy. Again, these cards are the sponsor cards that made it possible for that Ace of Cups in the reverse position to show up here, okay? So it looks like in the past, there could have been a lot of emphasis on teamwork or pulling away from third-party scenarios or situations with that Three of Pentacles energy. Okay, and again, reverse energy with the Pentacles. Now, it's going to be different for everybody because it is a general reading, right, from multiple people. But hopefully, it's more about the teamwork energy of the Three of Pentacles. If we're talking about third-party scenarios or energy or situations, that can just be two people or two parties, and then there's a third person or party that is interfering in some shape or form, right? So it's not always like a soap opera drama where, like, if you're talking about relationship stuff, oh my God, there's like a third person. No, it can be that the other person is a workaholic, or they're addicted to something, or their family's involved, or they're just some kind of interfering party. Let's say that's again what third party kind of thing is, if some people don't know. But anyway, hopefully, again, this is past, so it does matter, but it is hopefully more on that teamwork kind of energy side of the Three of Pentacles. All right. So when we place that together, though, with the Libra card, the Justice card in the right side up position, if there was that third party energy we're talking about, in the past, though, that was brought to light in some way, and either you got justice or the other person did, or the general environment situation. Okay, so something was then brought to balance, so maybe that third party went away, or the interfering energy of third party went away. Okay, with the Justice card showing up here in the right side up position. It could be also that there was some type of truth that was brought out, and there was this energy of wanting to find an evolution around that truth, and what is the truth, and can it change or evolve within those energies from the past here. Okay, so again, when these cards are underneath that Ace of Cups in the right side up position, it's almost like somebody or some energy here, Cancer, just thinks it's going to go down the way it did in the past, and maybe you or they or the energy gets a little bit nervous, right? Maybe nervous about working together as a team with other people. or maybe nervous about some type of truth or justice or something being more balanced, because in the past you weren't used to that. So even though it would be good and healthy in the future, there could be that hesitancy here. Um, but it could also be that if you or they had more teamwork, had more truth and justice in general being brought, that in the past had more positive emotions around it, and then you or they or the environment was able to create something really beautiful even out of like a difficult circumstance. And so with it being in that reverse position in the second week, it just feels like somebody is not fully trusting, or they're scared that it's going to go for the worst here. Okay. But again, we're going to move on because I think hopefully I explained that enough clearly. But you have another, other cards after it that are really good. So it could just be that reviewing of energy. And since we just did all the astrology notes talking about the whole retrogrades and squares and this and that, it could be something that's also part of the collective where we're supposed to review something. Okay. But let's keep going here, Cancer, see what else you have. So for the third week, we do have that Wheel of Fortune in the right side of position. All right, and we said this could be from around, it's not set in stone, July 17th through the 23rd. Okay, so again, you're going from now the Ace of Cups in the reverse position to now the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position. So you had a slow down energy and now it's speeding up again. Okay. And so now we also have luck is on your side here, Cancer. In this Cancer season, right? But depending on where you have Cancer in your chart, not everybody's a sun sign Cancer, okay? But this is about things changing for the better, things speeding up. You're having progress and momentum, and you're having luck on your side more, right? We do see Jupiter is huge, okay, in the background here. And again, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's going to expand everything it touches, right? So that's just our little reminder there to focus on the things that we want, not necessarily the things that we don't want, okay, when we're talking about the Wheel of Fortune or Jupiter energy. But yes, this feels really nice here for you, Cancer, in that third week. And again, we have Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius energy with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Now, as we keep going here, Cancer, I really like the last main card here in your reading because it just, I don't know, it feels like Cancer energy to me. Okay. I feel like you've gotten it a lot in the past at some point. I don't remember exactly. But basically, you have the Queen of Sacred Circles or Queen of Pentacles here in the right side up position. And in this deck, they show it as this grandmother figure with this young child, okay? And so it feels very nurturing, comforting. It feels like home and family, right? Which is kind of what Cancer energy represents, like in a nutshell, okay? So that's why I feel like it's kind of a Cancer card, even though it's more earth sign energy. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, it feels like it could also have those Cancer things I just talked about. Now we do have an emphasis here of the full moon in the background of the card, also the face of the moon on the other side. Okay, so full moon is combination energy. If we're talking about grandparents or someone later in their life, that's also another type of combination energy. But when we're talking about the tarot in general, if it's not necessarily actually referring to your grandparents or something like that, it can be that when you have that Wheel of Fortune in the third week, and then the Queen of Sacred Circles in the next week, there can be some type of leveling up in one area of your life here or multiple areas of your life, Cancer. Okay, so, if you were entry-level employee, then now you're going to be whatever the next step is up, right? Then now you're going to be the manager, let's say, or now you're going to be the CEO or whatever it is. Okay, so apply that to any area of your life, for your health, for your money, for your love, etc. Okay, but it is this very, like I said, nurturing energy. So the Queen of Sacred Circles, the Queen of Pentacles, is one of the softer queens, right? It's not like the Queen of Swords, which is like a clear cut no nonsense bullshit energy. This is more of that nurturing family kind of energy side to it. Okay. Now, it is also talking about if it's not necessarily a leveling up in one area of your life or multiple areas of your life. It could be just a general confidence, okay, stepping into your power, or they're stepping into their power. Again, when you're talking about this king and queens type energy. But it feels like the best card to end the Cancer season here, Cancer, and your July reading. I mean, we still have two other cards we're going to talk about, but it just I don't know. It feels like right when it came out for you. Okay. So now let's talk about real quickly, and we'll go back where we need to and say anything else about the Queen of Sacred Circles energy. But this one over here is going to be your tarot confirmation card. So it's going to come in here and confirm all four cards, all 4 weeks that we potentially talked about, even though timing is not accurate in the tarot and time is relative, right? All these readings that I do are timeless, right? So take it with, of course, a grain of salt, as they say. Okay. All right. So now we have this Six of Swords energy in the right side up position. Okay. And this is a combination of past and future energy here, Cancer. And they call in this deck the Six of Swords the Lord of Earned Success. Okay. So really interesting to see. Okay, and this is again past and future energy. So when that confirmation card comes in and it's following that Queen of Sacred Circles, it's kind of like a little nice reminder here, Cancer, to not give in to any, let's say, gossiping energy or self-sabotaging energy, or not sharing enough with others energy when we're talking about the Six of Swords. So it could be that maybe you are striving so much for success, right? Everyone is, of course, so that's the goal, and whatever success is for you, right? It's different for everybody. But it's like, in doing that, the greediness energy of the Six of Swords, not saying that you're greedy, right? Hold on. It's like, why do I need 6 swords to fight a battle to clear my path when I really only need 1? So it's a little bit of a defensive energy, okay, on somebody's part, or just the energy in general. But again, this is past and future. So it doesn't necessarily have to go down that way. You always have choice. This is the energy we're picking up so far. But it is, I feel, what's the way to say it? Is there a way, Cancer, right? Or whoever's watching this reading, right? Whatever, regardless of your sign. Is there a way to have this nurturing energy, this confidence, this inner power, and not be completely shut off or too defensive, right? Is there a balance between the Six of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles or Queen of Sacred Circles, as it's known in this deck, right? So it's kind of, it feels like just reminding everybody to have a balance, right? So you can be nurturing and home and family and soft and gooey, but don't forget that you can also cut somebody, right? If you need to, okay? Or you can cut things out of your path, right? You can use the sword as a tool or a weapon, right? But yeah, that's kind of how I feel it here for you, Cancer. But let's see what else we have here for you before you go. So your last card here is your little oracle card, and this is from the Remy Oracle deck. And so he was, I think it's the 13th through 15th century Persian poet. I always forget if it's 13th, 14th, or 15th century, but if you look him up, you can find out yourself, okay? But basically, with this Oracle deck, they've taken some of this poetry and put them with different cards, okay? So the one that you got here, Cancer, for this time period or even beyond, is card number 24, and it is, what can I say this word right now? Replenishment? No, it's not replenishment, but it's planet. I can't say it. Planet with grace. It's like replenish, but not replenish. Oh my god. Okay, hopefully in a second I'll figure out how to say it because it's taking me a moment. Okay. But it's really beautiful though. It has this like human figure in the center, and they almost look like they're sideways. And there's like this red energy underneath them, and then they're looking up to, I don't know if it's the sky, but it's like this kind of golden energy here. You can see it there. All right, so it's really pretty. But let's see what this little poem has to say. And then I'll try to sum up. I won't read at all 3 pages here, of course, but kind of what, may be said here that maybe we've already kind of said in some other way, or just have you enjoy the poetry for a second, okay? All right, Cancer, so let's see here. It says, again, I can't say this word right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Refreshments with grace. Okay. I'm gonna have to like get the thing to like teach me how to speak again. What is it called? Hooked on phonics. I'm gonna get hooked on phonics down. Okay. But in the meantime, here we go. Okay. It says, greetings from my heart to you where you are always with me, hidden inside as the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are in the ear. You are in the mind. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red. As a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the fields of which no being is excluded, the darkness of night is illuminated, and all the creatures are bathed in the fine golden hue of your presence. There is only beauty beheld now, for there is nothing that is not your artistry of your divine hand, your generous spirit with its grace. Okay, so that is beautiful. So let's see here, kind of how they want to, sum up this card when it's showing up here for you. It says, this oracle comes to you with a message. You may be wondering if you can obtain the next stage of growth in your life. It says you are already well equipped to do so, no matter what you believe about the situation, circumstances, or others involved. Even yourself. You have within your soul possession more than enough grace to see through anything you are bold enough to envision for yourself, or for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray through unconscious love to access all that you are, to be supported by those beings that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are so drenched in the sacred grace that the well of your being is full. All that is needed to nurture you into the next step of your life is within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability and your readiness and your capacity to take this to the next phase of your journey now. So yeah, I mean, let's see here, Cancer. I feel like, Even for the collective, again, when we were doing the astrology notes before your reading, we were talking about something. One of the placements that was happening throughout July was talking about self-determination and self-assertion. I can't remember what it was. Maybe that's on here. The North Node retrograde in Aries, which was around July 17th. It kind of feels like similar to that. Okay. So again, that could be something for the collective as well. But also, I feel like it's going here with your reading, Cancer, with that second card in the reading, the Ace of Cups in the reverse position, right? So if you don't have belief in yourself and in your dreams, right, then you're going to have that self-doubt come in temporarily, where you go back to past scenarios where things maybe didn't turn out as well as you wanted them to, and so then we get stuck in things, thinking that that's always going to happen again. Okay, so that's kind of another way to look at that oracle card here as well. But yes, Cancer, you still have a really beautiful reading, and hopefully you got something from it. So always feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you feel guided. But yes, I will be uploading also the one photo of all the cards after this live is done. If you want to see that or pull it up. So all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to get that if you feel guided. All right, so we are going to, pull away from the Cancer energy and do some shuffling and tap into the Leo energy. So we're about at 51 minutes or so. All right, so I will make a mental note for when I do the timestamps for people later. If somebody just wants Cancer, or they just want Leo, or they just want the astrology notes, all of that. Okay, so that wasn't shuffling yet. We're just going to first put all of the cards where they belong. We're going to charge them with some crystals, and then we're going to do a little sound bell here to clear the energy. It's a great way to clear the previous reading's energy as well. Okay, and then we'll tune in and see what we have for Leo. And I think it's falling over because it's very windy. Okay, or with the fan on me. Anyway, hopefully I'll be getting some AC back soonish. Because yes, it's very hot. All right. Anyway, the one good thing about it is so far, knock on wood, right, is keeping the animals very hot and tired. So that's the good side of all this heat, is that when I'm doing readings or talking to somebody, I can actually think better without the animals making all that noise. All right, 1 second here. Okay, so let's do our sound bell, and then we will do our shuffling. Yeah, that feels right. Okay, so for people who are just tuning in later, right, or even right now, we're going to do a quick sound bell to ground ourselves, for myself and for you guys, to take a couple moments to tap back into our body, take a deep breath. And also to make sure that I'm a clear channel for the spirits and delivering messages to you guys. All right, so it may be a little bit loud if you're super sensitive or listening in headphones, but it won't be forever. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be for Leo. see what we have here for you, Leo. All right. Let's do some shuffling here. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Leo, the Lion, for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Leo, the Lion, for their highest vibration for July 2023. Okay. Leo. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Leo for July 2023. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Leo, the Lion, for July 2023. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? 3 more cards only, please. Spirits. Messages for fire sign Leo. Messages for Leo, the Lion, for July. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Leo, the Lion, for July. All right, so then we're going to take what's on the top and the bottom of the deck, like we do. Okay, I'm just going to leave these over here for a minute. Switch to the other deck, and then we'll come back to it and see how Spirit wants to receive those cards. Some of them are reversed, some of them are on the right side up, so we'll find out what they want. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Leo, the Lion, for July 2023. 1 card only, please. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the high spirit? Messages for fire sign Leo, the Lion. All right, so we do the same thing. We're going to take the top and the bottom of the deck. And then one more deck here. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Leo, the Lion, for July 2023. 1 card only, please. What do we need to see? What do we need to know? Messages for Leo. Alright. Wait, that's the wrong thing. I thought it was the page number. It's not. It's the card number. Okay. That's for later. We'll leave that there. Alright. Now let's figure out how Spirit wants these cards. So we have it like this. We're going to confirm and make sure. Okay. Spirits, thank you for listening. Spirit, so do you want the 10 of Staves in reverse position to represent the first tarot card for this Leo July reading? Okay, thank you. And Spirits and love and light, from the respect and reverence, thank you for all the wisdom, advice, and guidance given. And thank you, Spirits, for listening. Did you want the World card in the reverse position to represent the second tarot card for this Leo reading? Spirits, please give me a clear yes or no answer. Do you want the World card in the reverse position to represent the second tarot card for this Leo reading? No. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Spirits, once again, did you want the Ace of Swords in the right side of, in the reverse position to represent the third tarot card for this Leo reading? Okay. They want that there. All right. And spirits and love and light. Did you want the strength card in the reverse position to represent the fourth tarot card for this Leo July reading? No. All right. And that one was right side up. Let's move to these real quickly. And spirits, did you want the King of Cups in the reverse position to represent what's on top of this ancestral path tarot deck for this Leo reading? Okay, thank you, Spirit. And Spirit, did you want the Five of Swords in the reverse position to represent what's on the bottom of this ancestral path tarot deck for this Leo July reading? No. Okay, thank you, Spirits. And Spirits, did you want the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position to represent what's on the bottom of this Hermetic tarot deck for this Leo July reading? Okay, they said yes. All right. So now let's figure out where they want these two cards on the bottoms of each deck. And then we'll take a picture and get started. All right. So let's see where. Well, I almost feel like maybe they want it this way. So first week and third week, but I'm not sure. Let's double check. Okay, give me one pair of spirits. Thank you for all wisdom, advice, and guidance given. Thank you, of course, for listening. Did you want me to talk about the Seven of Wands in the right side up position and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position when I talk about the Ten of Spades in the reverse position? Okay, they said yes, so we'll leave that there. And the spirits, did you want me to talk about the King of Cups in the reverse position and the Five of Swords in the right side up position when I talk about the Ace of Swords in the reverse position? Spirits, please give me a clear and definitive yes or no answer. Do you want me to talk about the King of Cups in the reverse position and the Five of Swords in the right side up position when I talk about the Ace of Swords in the reverse position? No. Okay. They said no the first time, but they was like, no, yes. And I was like, which one is it? And this time they were like, no. I'm like, I got it. Okay. So I think they're going to want them over here. Maybe it's like all this energy is in that first week. And that's why we're getting all the breakdown here. But let's double check and see here. All right. Spirits, did you want me to talk about the King of Cups in the reverse position and the Five of Swords in the right side up position when I talk about the Ten of Spades in the reverse position? They don't want it there either. What about over here? I just realized though, Leo, you've got a repeating card, so I love when that happens, especially when you see me shuffle. We'll get to that later. But let's see, maybe they want it at the end here. Spirits, we want me to talk about the King of Cups in the right side up position and the Five of Swords in the right side up position when I talk about the Ace of Swords in the right side up position. Okay, finally, that's why they wanted it. All right, so we will leave that there. We'll take our little picture and then we'll get started. Okay, so just stand up here for a second, just because there is usually a lot of glare with the light and stuff. Sure, there you go. All right, so Leo, let's see what time we're at now. We're at an hour and 4 minutes or so. Okay, so I'll make a mental note for the timestamps for later. All right, so Leo, let's see here. You've been super patient. Thank you. Let's go ahead and call up your cards here and see what we have for you for July. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Spades in the reverse position here. We have the World card in the right side up position. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse position, and we have the Strength card in the right side up position. All right, so we will talk about the other ones a little bit later, but let's see what zodiac signs are showing up here for you, Leo? Of course, we have Leo, your official card, so it could be you or it could be someone else, or referencing Leo season, or some area in someone's chart where they have Leo, or it means nothing at all, but we do have Leo energy here, okay? Now, with the world card energy, we also have four other zodiac frequencies showing up as far as the major arcanas. So we have, again, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus. Okay, if you were watching the Cancer reading, it's similar to the Wheel of Fortune energy. And we really only have those two major arcanas here for you, Leo. All right, so it's not necessarily good or bad, but we're just talking about the majors, and then we're going to talk about the minors here real quickly too. All right, so let's find out which one is the predominant one in your reading as far as the minor arcana. You do have right off the bat two wands cards, three swords cards, one pentacle, and one cup. So it is actually going to be the swords. And so what does that mean? Okay, it could be an underlying theme to your reading here, Leo. And swords in the tarot talk about our logical mind, our crown chakra, and can also talk about, let's say, our mental health. So a couple questions as an example would be, is my mental health in a good place? Is the other person, is the environment, that kind of thing? Am I thinking balanced enough, or am I overthinking, that kind of thing? Okay, but let's just kind of put that aside and go one by one through your reading here, Leo. All right. Oh, I forgot to do this in the Cancer reading because I was all like thinking about their birthday, but that's okay. Maybe because it was their birthday, there was not necessarily a particular time when they needed to accomplish something. All right. I usually like to do that in the readings and kind of say, well, this week looks more beneficial to do something within your control if it is within your control or not. Okay. So for you here, Leo, since I'm thinking about it ahead of time, it looks like the second and the fourth week would be the best times to, again, accomplish something within your control. Okay, it's not necessarily that the other weeks are not good. It's just this is when the energy is at its peak or the highest points. Okay, so again, in that second or fourth week of July. All right, so that looks really nice. But let's go in order here and break it down, and also talk about the time periods of when things may occur. So I'll say the dates real quickly. They're not set in stone, right? Everything is to be taken with a grain of salt and applied with your own intuition, okay? But we generally like to say that the first card can be from around July 1st through the 8th. The second card can be from around July 9th through the 16th. The third card can be from around July 17th through the 23rd. And the fourth card can be from around July 24th through the 31st or so. Okay, so we'll say those dates again when we're on each card, but yeah. All right, so here we go, Leo. We're starting off your reading with that 10 of Wands in the reverse position, also known in this deck is 10 of Staves in that reverse position. So when we're talking about the first card in particular, it can be energy from the recent past, still kind of trickling in here. So it can be, this whole reading here, Leo, can be about you or someone you're dealing with, multiple people you're dealing with, your general environment situation. If it doesn't feel like you're reading, you never force it. Just check out your other placements and other readings to see, what works best for you. So I usually like to read my sun, my rising or ascendant, and my moon sign because usually I can relate to all three of them in some shape or form, okay? Or maybe it's just one of them, but I like to read all of them anyway, just for fun, okay? But yeah, so Leo, we have this 10 of Staves or 10 of Wands in the reverse position, and this is, feeling not like in a negative way for you, okay? Because again, not all reversals are negative, but it feels like here, Leo, that there is something that's being like put to rest, but it could be like it's put to rest, but then it comes back up, but it wasn't fully put to rest. So it's coming back up again, if that makes sense. Okay. So again, when we said that your second and your fourth week were the best here, Leo, it looks like your first and your third week could be a little bit of those energetic blockages, gentle reminders, slow down, and energy periods. Okay. So with that 10 of Spades in the reverse position in the first week, um, it could be that some ending or new beginning isn't accepted or is put on hold, or it keeps going back and forth. It's like, is it an ending? Is it a new beginning? Like it feels like questions here, Leo. Um, Now, when we're talking about staves or wands, it can be referencing our physical body, what gets us fired up and passionate, but also could be about our health. Okay, so it could be for a small few, maybe some kind of like chronic health thing, or maybe it's not chronic, but it's like something that has come up before and now it's coming back again. It doesn't have to be for everybody. If it's not about health and it's about, let's say, our passion, what gets us physical and fired up in our body, um, it could be that there's some type of, well, I guess that would still be health though, right? So I was thinking, like, well, how can you have a creativity block or writer's block like in your body? That would still be like health stuff. But it doesn't mean like it's some huge health issue or some, you know what I mean? It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. But whatever this is, and we'll break it down more when we talk about the two cards underneath it here, Leo, you do have by the second week right after it some really nice energy. So whatever it is, don't like freak out about it. It's not meant to ever push you in a place of fear or anything like that, okay? All right, so let's see what's underneath it. We've got energy from the past underneath here. Okay, we found the sponsor cards that made it possible for that 10 of Spades or 10 of Wands to show up in the reverse position in your first week. So we got 7 of Wands right side up and 4 of Pentacles in the reverse position, which was on the bottom of your deck. Okay. So yeah, Leo, it feels like there was this very defensive energy in the past on one hand where somebody maybe wasn't on equal footing or equal ground or solid ground, whatever you want to call it. But it made them or made you or multiple people, general environment situation, let go of some type of control, or it made you or them, multiple people, general environment situation, let go of an aspect of fear in some way, because it was like, I can't be this defensive forever, or I can't be not on equal ground forever. So somebody or something had to start to let go of the control or the fear with that 4 of Pentacles in the reverse position. But because the 10 of Spades is reversed, it almost feels like somebody or the energy in general is going back and forth a little bit. Again, going back to that questioning I said in the beginning, like, is this really over, or something over, or is this really my new beginning or the new beginning, what have you, etc. Yeah, it's gonna be different for everybody, but it just feels like a little bit of this questioning. Okay. Now, if you follow astrology, or even if not, you can check out the astrology notes that I had at the beginning of this video when I put out the timestamp. It was fast forward at the beginning, because I don't remember exactly what's going on in that first week or two of July. So it could have something to do with the collective as well. But it could also just be because it's your first card here, Leo. It's something from the recent past that's still kind of slowly making its way out of your body or out of your system or out of something, right? But yeah, let's keep going and see what else we have here for you, Leo. Okay, because like I said, by the time you get to the second week, with that I'm sorry, with the world in the right setup position, now the energy is moving better. Now there's forward momentum, a faster pace. Things are picking up. And when we talk about the world card energy, it is like carving something out of nothing. It is fresh start energy. So it could be that questioning in the first week here, Leo, of is it over? Is it done? Is my new beginning here yet? But by the time you get to the second week, it's like, yes, now you can have this new beginning. You can have this fresh start energy with the, I almost did it again, with the world, not the wheel, but the world in the right setup position. Okay. Again, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo energy. But it feels really nice for you. I think we have in the first week, Leo, don't we have a full moon? I think so. I think we have July 3rd. We have the full moon in Capricorn. I'm trying to think what else. It's right here. I'm just thinking like, what else do we have in the first week? Oh, okay. We've got another thing. Mars enters into Virgo in the first week. So, talking about entrepreneurship, leadership qualities, as far as ending new beginnings. It could be that, well, technically July 10th is the second week, if we go exactly by the dates that I wrote down, but it could be like in between those two, right? So if this is about work, or even if it's not about work, it's about a side project or some type of passion, something that you're passionate about, or the other person is general environment situation. It seems like, again, by that second week, the energy is more supportive of that, okay? But it looks good. All right, let's keep going here, Leo, see what else we have here for you. Um, you again have a repeating card, like I said when I was shuffling, and so I always like to see that when it comes out, just because it is like you can't make it up, right? You're using two different decks and the same card is coming out. They are in two different positions and placements and everything, but it is usually a particular message from spirit when that happens. But let's talk about the first message before we get to the other one that's over here. So Leo, when we come to your third week, we have the Ace of Swords now in the reverse position. And we said that could be from around July 17th through the 23rd or so, okay? But it feels like something confuses you here, Leo, okay? Or the other person, general environment, or multiple people, etc. It could also be that you feel that you're blocked mentally, or there's something with the logical mind, how we said in the beginning of the reading that your majority of your minor arcana were all swords cards. This is the first one we're talking about. So some kind of blockage about thinking clearly or logically, or it could also be about if we have this new beginning that we're talking about in the second week, we deal with the world card, that there is no, it's not the right way to say it. But the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like someone's not trusting their innate talents and gifts around some type of new beginning. Or maybe they're not trusting, or maybe you or the other person in an environment situation trust your intuition about something, but you're not trusting the facts. Or there's something weird about the facts, if they're true or not. Or I don't know. It's gonna be different for everybody. But yeah, there's this what we call it again, energetic slowdown, gentle reminder or challenge in the third week here. But because it is your repeating card that's again going to show up over here, I don't want to say too much about it, but just know again, because of the card that follows it, your second and fourth week are really good energy, or it's more for momentum, progress, and speed. Whatever this is, Leo, in the third week, don't worry about it too much, right? Because then when we get to the fourth week, that's your card, Leo, or where we have Leo in your chart, right? This is Leo energy, the strength card in the right side up position. So maybe by the end of July here, Leo, you're going to start feeling more like yourself, okay? Or you're dealing with another Leo, or something about Leo energy, or it's just in general, you're going to have more confidence, more strength, and courage in, well, it could be in lots of things, but it could be in the more of the metaphor sense, right? So usually you see a woman wrestling a lion and she's opening his mouth, like, what are you eating? It's a dog, right? But here it's like talking about more inner strength, more inner courage. So it could be about spirituality, but it doesn't have to be. It's just being strong and not just the physical sense, but all of the senses in addition to that, right? But also the strength card is really similar to the magician card in the tarot. So she does have the infinity symbol above her head. Okay, that's the manifestor quality. So when this strength card shows up, especially if it's not in a Leo reading, it's like, yes, I was strong before in the past, so that means I can be strong again in the future. Because what is time, right? It's all relative. So I'd like to see this here for you, Leo. If you've seen me before, or even other readers too, Leo, you always seem to come out in most of your readings. I don't know why, but I think it's really cool because it's always a good omen too. All right. But let's see now what the other tarot cards here are saying as well. Okay, I'm going to kind of summarize it into a little oracle card. So now let's talk about your confirmation card. This card's going to come in and confirm all 4 weeks, all 4 cards at the top that we just kind of talked about. And this is that repeating card. So remember, you have the Ace of Swords in the reverse position in the third week. When it comes in at the end here, it can be a combination of past and future energy. But the thing to note here, Leo, is now it's right side up. Okay? So now it's saying after you get your strength, your courage, your manifestor qualities back, or feeling like yourself again, then possibly you can have some type of ending, new beginning, but you're going to feel, I'm trying to think of another word besides strong, because we're talking about your strength card too. You're going to feel determined or confident, right, in your innate talents and gifts towards the end of the month too. And now you also have mental clarity. So when you start feeling more like yourself, when you start manifesting, or remembering you can manifest, or remembering that you were strong before in the past and you can be strong again in the future, then you can have that mental clarity. You can use the sword as a tool this time, right, and clear things out of your path. So before, maybe in the third week, it was blocked a little bit or slowed down, but then towards the end of the month, or even maybe the beginning of August, okay, now you have that mental clarity. It could even be some type of celebration, right? We do have the wreath and the crown, traditionally how it's shown in the tarot. Doesn't have to be, but it could be a celebratory energy. But this time, when it showed up here for you, Leo, in the right side up position, this is where Spirit wanted to put what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck underneath this one. They didn't want it in the third week when the card was reversed. They wanted it over here in that confirmation card, which could be past and future energy, but it's more like your fifth card because it follows your strength card. So anyway, let's see what's underneath it to get even more insight. All right. So again, we have past energy on the bottom here, the bottom cards. So you have the King of Cups in the reverse position and the Five of Swords in the right side up position here, Leo. I think someone else got the Five of Swords. Did Cancer get five of swords? No, they got 5 of wands. I mean, they got a 5. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I feel like it's my Leo reading. We're not talking about Cancer. All right. So in the past year, Cancer, there could have been a lack of confidence, or even like a demoting of, is demoting the right way to say it? Of some type of status or position taken away from you or taken away from someone. Or it could also, if it's not those things, it could just be that in the past, with the King of Cups in the reverse position, somebody wasn't strong in their emotions, right? So when he's reversed, he doesn't necessarily know what he wants emotionally, what makes him emotionally happy and satisfied and fulfilled, because he's in the reverse position. So that, of course, would affect someone's confidence, or their position of authority, or their inner power, however you want to say it. Okay. Now, on the other side, though, it's like on the same side of that. Okay, if you have lack of confidence, not strong in your emotions and what you want emotionally, then you're going to have perhaps more competition with the Five of Swords energy. You're going to have not focusing enough on the present moment. There's going to be too much focus on the past and too much focus on the future, right? So again, comparing ourselves with others, competitive energy, defensive energy with those swords, right? So if this guy or girl, I don't know what it is in the card, it doesn't really matter, right? We're not talking about gender. If they won the battle, why do they need so many swords? They only need one, but they're picking up all the other swords. So there was, like, again, this kind of defensive energy in the past, not super confident, not knowing emotionally what they want, if it's a person here, or just the energy, and then being more competitive with others, not focusing enough on the present moment. Okay, so because they, again, Leo put that under the Ace of Swords, in the right side up position, that is just saying, don't go to that past energy here, Leo, right? The past is the past for the reason. Like, what can we learn from it? Yes, of course. But it's, I don't know, it's interesting. I mean, what they call the Ace of Swords in this deck, I was just looking at it, Leo, they call it the Lord of the Root of the Powers of Air. So I don't know why it doesn't say roots with an S, but it says the root, right? So I'm like, okay, so where's the earth energy in your reading, right? You have pentacles back here in the past, but you really got fire, fire, water, air, air, fire. So you don't have a whole lot of earth. You, again, only have that one Four of Pentacles in the past. So if we want more mental clarity, what do we need to do? Find our roots, ground ourselves, get back into our physical body. Don't overthink or over emotionalize, if that's a word or way to say it. Don't let the emotions overwhelm you or others, right? We all want to kind of strive for balance in all things. But yeah, anyway, I still feel that it can go either way, but it's just more saying, like, yeah, don't necessarily go back to the past here, Leo. Remember who you are, remember that you're strong, and then you get that mental clarity back, and you'll get those innate talents and gifts feeling back in flow and supported. Then you'll get possibly a celebration, all the things, right? But yeah. Let's see what else we have here for you, Leo, before you go. We do have your little oracle card, and this is from Rumi, or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it. Oracle deck. He was a 13th to 15th century alchemist. Not an alchemist, I'm sorry, but he does talk about alchemy, so maybe that's why it was in my head. He was a Persian poet. Sorry, I can't. It's hot, you guys. I think I told you my AC's out. So and this is later at night, so I'm getting the hot sleepies. But let's talk about your oracle card before you go. All right. So this one's really pretty. It looks like a mountain in the background and this ocean water in the foreground. But it says, "You who show the way," card number 33. Okay, so we're going to read the poem a little bit and then kind of summarize and see what else it has to say, but we're not going to read everything. All right. It says, "The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolidation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. I have looked to you in my darkest moments, searched for you as though fumbling for the candle and matches during an unexpected blackout. I am the ship at sea, seeking you as my guiding light. Nay, I am the sea, rising up to the horizon, because I yearn to be closer to you. Then, oh, to my grateful greatest relief, you rise like a phoenix from the ocean, casting hollowed golden light all around you. This great blazing angel of holy fire. In a sweet instant, my soul rests in your presence. The sea becomes calm, the darkness abates. Your light reveals truth, and through your living presence, I know my true self again. I am what you are. Even when it appears I am returning after being lost in darkness, as though I could never be extinguished. I am divine light. I am you, a living sun." Okay, so that was pretty. I haven't seen that one in a minute. So yeah, really funny. Leo, the first part of the poem, the first two or three words are the logical mind, right? And we were talking about all the swords and the logical mind, the crown chakra, overthinking, mental health is a good place, not a good place, right? Sorry, I just got a tickle in my throat. So that was interesting, but yeah, I mean, I feel that it is. How is the way to summarize it? I'm trying to think here. Well, I mean, it's basically saying that like eventually the storm will stop, right? Even the way the card is shown with the ocean waves at the bottom and then the sun behind the mountain at the top. It says here, "All shall be sorted out, and your sun shall rise again, just as day follows night and again and again. So too shall your sun rise after any issue or struggle. Have faith and hope, and know that this is a seasonable approach to any dilemma, no matter how serious it may seem. For what use is it to abandon? I'm sorry, not abandon. For what use is it to bemoan the presence of day, even on the longest night, when you know in every moment dawn is ever close to breaking once again? Your hope then is not foolish, but it's wise instead." Okay, I like that for you here. Um, yeah, I mean, you could even put that with the strength card here, Leo, right? Like, if you were strong before in the past, you can be strong again. If you're a manifester in the past, you can be manifester again, right? The sun will rise again, again. What else does it say here, real quickly? It gives you a little sacred honoring ritual if you feel guided, right? I forgot to do that for Cancer, but that's okay. It's all divine timing and all of that. So it says for this card, if you feel guided, place your hands on your heart and say the following aloud. "The divine who loves me unconditionally blesses me now with such grace that my life aligns with divine order and all becomes golden, blessed, and mercifully held in the compassionate consciousness of the Creator. I thank you for the courage and faith I have needed to endure the night, and I now celebrate the coming dawn. I see it breaking, I see its light, and I thank you for this mercy. With Rumi or Remy, who loves me unconditionally, I am now shown the way to dawn. It is at my feet, and together we step into the gift of a new day. So be it. I pulled up the strength card again because it said something about courage, right? The courage of the lion, like from the, the Wizard of Oz, okay? Right? I have courage, I have strength, right? So, yeah. Anyway, that is your message, dear Leo, and I hope you got something from it. Always feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you feel like you want to, but no pressure either way. Also, again, I am going to post the photos in a few moments. If you want to see that one photo of all the cards that I took earlier, all you have to do is click in the little description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see the photo if you feel guided. What else? Yes, if you also like this video, it does help not only me know that you resonated with it in some way, it also, in the first couple days the video comes out, will share it more with others on YouTube within their algorithm. So if you feel guided or something you want to do, it is a great free way to support the channel. Another great way to support the channel as well, if you haven't already, is to subscribe if you feel guided. All you have to do is hit the little subscribe button. It's free. It'll just notify you when I put out new videos. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So you guys take care and enjoy this time period and beyond. And we will be back, me in spirit, when I say we, or spirits. And the dogs right on time as I'm done. Hey, almost done. Be quiet. We'll be back tomorrow with Virgo and Libra. All right, if you guys want to join us, okay. But see you guys later. All right, so take care. Okay.